The second neurotype we have is still what we would call a neuro-dominant neurotype, meaning that the neurological component is stronger than the muscular component. And remember, the component you are dominant in recovers really easily from training, whereas the component you are not good at or not built for will take a lot longer to recover. That's why the 1A cannot do a lot of volume and they will overtrain doing typical bodybuilding work. Now, the 1A, the one word that describes them is explosiveness. They are built to move aggressively, move fast, use the stretch reflex, try to accelerate the weight. If the 1A uses slow grinding strength to lift the weight, the 1B uses acceleration at the initial portion to create acceleration and momentum. That momentum is what allows them to be strong. Now, if we look at Dave Tate's definition, a powerlifter can either be a strong powerlifter or an explosive powerlifter. The type 1B would be an explosive powerlifter. So they are strong, but they are strong because they're explosive. Now, the one sentence that would describe them is they get more muscular by being more explosive. These are the guys who, if you have them do isolation work, they will naturally tend to cheat the movement. So instead of like doing very strict laterals, they will use a little bit of low back momentum. Curls, a little bit of cheating. So as coaches, we will often look at this, well, you're lifting like crap, like be more strict. No, these guys are built for that. They're built to use the acceleration. If you don't allow them to do that, they will actually get worse results. Of course, you don't allow them to use a form that will be detrimental to their performance. Now, a lot of Olympic weightlifters are like that, sprinters. And you look at sprinters, oftentimes they do curls and they cheat all the way, but they have a squat and it's a very good form. Why? Because you will look at these people, the 1B, they will tend to cheat on isolation work, but have very good form on squats, deadlift, bench press, and Olympic lifts. Why? Because they will cheat only on movements that have a low neurological component. They are neurologically driven. If they don't feel that a movement fulfills their need to be neurologically stimulated, they will find a way to get that stimulation. When I'm doing a squat, it's a high neurological component, second highest level. So they get what their brain needs. Heavy squat will stimulate the neurological component. They don't need to cheat. But if I'm doing a curl, it's the lowest form of neurological demand. They will try to accelerate the weight to get what their brain wants. And that's fine, right? So their training, they have a bit more capacity to tolerate volume than the 1A, but it's still fairly low compared to the next type. They need more different exercise in a session. They have higher acetylcholine level. They have the capacity to multitask. If they don't use it, they will lose motivation. So a good way to train for them is to use antagonistic pairings. A1, A2, A1, A2. So they get the feeling that they're doing something different all the time. Where if you have the 1A, they need to do all the sets for one exercise because they can't multitask. The type 1B also need more acceleration work, plyometrics, explosive work, using the bounce, using acceleration. They don't do well on pause lifting. They don't do well on partial lifts from pins if they start from a dead start. They need to use acceleration to feel satisfied and to get what the brain needs. If they use acceleration, they can train at a very high frequency. If they do bodybuilding work, slow tempo, it will crush them. They just can't recover from it. So this is a broad introduction to the type 1B. Of course, we will talk more in depth about proper training method in the future and in the upcoming certification program.